Hello and welcome to another edition of Brummywood, Yammywood, Big Centre TV's film show. Lots to cram into tonight's programme. A bit later on, we'll be taking a look at the big new release at local cinemas, a crazy comedy called Vacation. And we'll also be meeting some of the people behind a fairly frank documentary, which is currently doing the rounds and is coming to Birmingham over the next few days. First though, I'm delighted to introduce two local filmmakers on the Brummywood, Yammywood sofa, Dave Jeffrey and James Hart. Now you're both involved as producers in this project, one also director and one a screenwriter. Dave, tell us about the project then before we get into things.
The project's called Derelict and it focuses on a person who has PTSD or post-traumatic stress disorder, an ex-serviceman, and it charts, I guess, the situation around how his life has been changed by this quite challenging situation. So we see during the course of the film, through a series of flashbacks, which sort of are reflective of the experiences of PTSD, how it's impacted on his family life and how it sort of led him up to the point where he's now destitute and living in basically a subway, and really his interactions with the people that pass by. So we sort of use that as a mechanism to tell the story.
It's a very poignant personal tale, isn't it, really? Because it made me think when I watched it that maybe it was based on real life experiences or somebody that you guys knew. Is there anything in that, James?
Not on a real personal level in terms of knowing somebody, I guess, but me and Dave are both mental health nurses in terms of our day job. So I guess, you know, the kind of issues, some of the issues that it looks at in terms of kind of like, you know, depression, anxiety, social isolation, those type of things are really kind of, you know, important things to explore for me and Dave. You know, we deal with it at work, and kind of we wanted to kind of incorporate that into a film, I guess. So it's a personal message, but it's not about an individual, I guess, if that makes sense.
Well, I mean, but it's a topical story. It's in the news. I mean, we hear some of the great work that the likes of Combat Stress are doing, and it's a hidden part, isn't it, of the sort of aftermath of what some of our war heroes have gone through. So
yeah, definitely. I think it's you know, in some circles it's almost a bit of a taboo subject, isn't it, as well, really. You know, it is getting a degree of coverage, but I don't know, I guess based on some of the people we've spoken to, it doesn't necessarily, I don't think everyone's getting the support that they need for it. So we wanted to deliver a kind of quite a sensitive message, but with a degree of poignancy, and hopefully have a degree of impact, really, to make people think, well, you know, these people that we walk past on the street that you don't always give a second look, you know, they've got a story, I guess, you know. So
we'll talk a little bit more about the how and the where and the when in a moment, but first of all, let's have a quick look at a clip. The clip we've got here is right from the start of the film, where we get a chance to meet the soldier who's the main character in the story.
Okay, pick it up.
So Dave, then tell us about when you filmed it and where you filmed.
Well, we filmed it initially in April of this year, and we filmed in an underpass in Redditch, which is just by the train station, which came with its own issues in terms of trying to control the level of traffic.
Using real locations is a peril, isn't it? So.
Absolutely. But I think for us it sort of added to the ambience, really. All these outdoor sort of location type shooting was done there. So all the stuff around the interaction with the main character and passers-by was all filmed in that location.
Did you end up sort of improvising some scenes because it was a real life location, actually finding you're working things in that you perhaps weren't intending or expecting to? Yeah?
I think fundamentally it does tend to happen with the way we work anyway. I mean, with all the goodwill that Redditch Council showed us, you know, in terms of Atlanta and the Kingfisher Centre and Network Rail, there was stipulations around you can't really control the flow of real life human sort of traffic going through those areas. Some people found themselves being part of that, you know, as they walk by, you know. So we put the signs up to say there's filming going on, just be cautious, etc. And people, you know, continued to come on through. People seemed very happy, you know, to sort of be part of that. The second, I guess the second scene as such was where we see the main character through a flashback talk to his partner, his wife, and how that has impacted upon his family, how PTSD has started to erode his normal living. And that was actually shot at our editor's visual effects genius, Carl Braid, and his wife, Carol, very supportive, sort of kept the kids quiet while we shot there for the course of a morning, really. So we had 2 locations, really.
And what about your cast and crew then? How do you get them together and where are they all from?
All over, really. I mean, the main character is, believe it or not, he's not actually like an actor by trade or anything like that. He's a nurse himself. He was really interested. We worked with him on like a real short that we'd done before, but no acting training or anything like that. So he's just somebody that we know personally. The 2 main actresses. Caroline's pretty local. She does quite a bit of work in the area, short films. I think she's done feature, a lot of theatre type stuff. And Isabel's from Wales, so we cast it. We really, really make use of social media, like Facebook in particular.
As every production crew.
Yeah.
Because obviously we should say, shouldn't we? This is, as a company that you're involved in, this is not your first production by any means, is it?
No.
Tell us how long you've been running the company for.
Since 2012,
Yeah.
was when we set the company up, and that was to...
And what's the company called?
It's called Venomous Little Man Productions.
Tends to get to abbreviate to VLM.
Yeah, to VLM.
I won't ask why it's called Venomous Little Man Productions. I won't ask who came up with that.
Yeah, it was James. I don't know where he got the idea from.
Time, was it?
I was indeed.
Strange enough, but I'm not green in terms of the logo.
So in 2012 then you set it up with a view to doing what? What was your plan?
Our first production was, it started off as a short film called Ascension, and it was a zombie sort of short. It was based on one of my short stories, and basically charted, the days after a zombie apocalypse. But what we wanted to do is try and change sort of the focus of that sort of genre and have it more human based. So looking at how it impacts upon the people that survive and how they deal with that, and in quite maladaptive ways. So it sort of started off as a short piece, and it sort of grew from a 10-minute short into a 20-minute short, and then suddenly became 32 minutes. But ultimately what we did, we used that to sort of we used the company to sort of launch that, and we had a significant interest in that when it was released, and a degree of success with it, because James won a Best Director award at the Bram Stoker International Film Festival, and the film itself from the Worcestershire Film Festival won the Best Judged Film. So we had a degree of success with that. So
as far as Derelict goes, you'll be touting it around local film festivals presumably now, will you?
Yeah,
and waiting to hear.
Yeah, we've just started kind of submitting it. I mean, hopefully it will go pretty wide, so we're not kind of limiting ourselves really, but it's our first contemporary piece, I guess. So,
and if people want to find out more about the film, where can they go on social media? Give us a few.
You can find us on Facebook quite easily, or on Twitter. Just search us, and you'll find any information that way, really.
Just type in Venomous Little Man Productions into either of those 2 platforms, and you'll find us.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Good luck with it, and let us know when you've got some festival dates. Thanks both for coming in.
Thank you.
After the break, we'll be meeting a movie makers behind a documentary, which is quite a frank documentary, all about the lives and loves of UK's black community, and it's coming to Birmingham, and the cast and crew will be here to tell us more. Stick with us and join us after the break.
Thank you. Thank you. So I can't be eating this week. No. No. Watch out, mate. What? How'd you do that?
By putting one foot in front of the other. It's called walking.
together. Hey. Hey, miss. Can you do me a favour?
I've got somewhere to be, sorry.
It's just a small thing, honestly.
What is it?
See those coins there?
Yeah?
Can you get them for me? Just don't seem to be able to leave.
Welcome back to Brummywood, Yammywood. Now I'm delighted to be joined in this half of the show by a filmmaker called Menelik Shabazz, whose latest movie, Looking for Love, is about to bring its national roadshow into Birmingham. Before we find out what the film's all about, let's take a look at this trailer.
You know what? I just think black men are scared of black women.
If he does one little something, bruv, he's just done a big doo-doo. But it's not even a big doo-doo. He's not even farted yet.
I'm not sharing nothing. That's why I'm a big girl. I ain't sharing chicken, I ain't sharing wedding cake, I ain't sharing man, I ain't sharing jack.
Now, I ain't talking about one of those tide me over kind of snacks. You know, those takeaway, available 24 hours a day, but more likely to arrive at night type of snacks.
So I'm kind of like the woman in my relationship. I'll be real. I'll be real.
You can cook for me, you can lie down for me, but I'm going to get up and see as many women as I want. There's so many young women out there happy to accept that.
You hear women say, well, I can sleep with a guy and get up and move on, and it doesn't bother me. It's psychobiologically impossible.
I never thought I was going to be this cougar. I thought,
More like mountain lion.
Shut up, you. So he was 17 years younger than me, right?
He was 17 or
Yeah.
17 years
No,
younger?
no.
I know you want me. And I want you. My body is yielding and leading as we take turns in responding to the chemistry relentlessly compelling us.
You've been with this woman for 7 years.
Yeah.
You're getting all the benefits. You're getting her heart, you're getting her loyalty, you're getting her time, you're getting her body, you're getting her mind.
We never had a friendship.
Right.
So we got together on a physical attraction.
Going down. Are we still saying we don't go down as black? Because I won't even date a bro who don't go down.
I believe there's someone in this world for everyone.
Menelik, welcome to Big Centre TV. I love the look of this film because it's tackling some serious heavyweight social issues, but in a really frank, fun and approachable way. Is that what you designed the film to come across as?
Yes. Interesting enough, I found out that it's the first documentary that's been made in Britain that's dealing with the issues of relationships, male and female. I mean, we've seen stuff on TV like the Jeremy Kyle or whatever. We've seen movies that, you know, have the kind of rom-coms type of stories. But in terms of actual real people talking about relationships, it's never really happened before in the UK. It's a very strange situation. And so this film is really entering into that terrain. It's really, yes, about people talking about the issues of relationships. Most of the people, African Caribbean backgrounds, but the experiences that they are talking about transcends, because we're talking about issues of baggage that we carry into different relationships. Also, what is our notions of love? Do you know what I mean? Because you have a whole media notion of love, but is that really what it's all about? People talk about healing and traumas that people have been through, and also it's combined with a lot of humor. You know, we have people talking about, you know, experience in a very funny way, and I think that's part of the experience of the film.
Is it hard to get people to open up when you're asking them to talk about these kind of topics?
I didn't find that. And I think also it's at the report whether people feel comfortable with you. And I think the film is a testament to that, because the people are talking, different people from different generations are really very open in a way that we probably haven't seen. I know, you know. So I find it, and it's part of my job as a director, to really try and open up people, to let them talk freely. So I didn't have a problem. In fact, it was interesting that once you bring in the subject of relationships, people have got things to say. And we have a lot of guys in the film talking, and it's important because, again, you don't hear men talk about relationships in any kind of profound way. It's always kind of frivolous kind of stuff, but it's in a profound way. We don't hear that. And that's important because the film opens a space for men to actually be in contact with their emotional space.
Did any of the topics or the points that were being raised surprise you or take your film off in sort of different directions to the ones you were maybe expecting to go in?
There were some interviews that I didn't expect them to come out with what they came out with in that respect. You know, because you don't know. Sometimes you meet people, could be on the street, it could be in situations which are kind of that you didn't expect, and you ask them some questions and they were like, wow, okay. And I found that people had a lot of wisdom. Mostly not, because I kind of had an idea of what people were going to say. But when there were situations when we didn't, like the group discussion that we had with young people talking, we didn't really know what was going to come of that. Not in all situations did I know.
So you're now taking the film off on a road show around the country. It's in Birmingham at a couple of venues, isn't it? At View Cinema until Thursday next week, and at the Mac until Tuesday. And then you're coming back again in September for a
Yes.
Q&A, aren't you?
That's
at
right,
the Drum.
yes.
So what can people expect then if they, if you've got to sell this film to the audience, if they want to go along to the Birmingham venue over the next few days?
People would expect to have a very different experience than they have previously been exposed to. And we're talking, whatever culture, whatever you're coming from, you're entering into a space that is very rarely discussed. People are very rarely engaging in this kind of area. So people would expect to laugh and to also reflect on their own life and their own experiences, because we have a number of psychotherapists in the film as well. So we kind of try also to get into the deeper reasons why people behave the way they do, or the way we do.
Is that what really makes you tick as a filmmaker? Because I mean, you've been making movies for how long? For a number of years now. So.
Yes, I've been around for over 35 years, making films on and off.
What started you off?
What started me off was a mistake. By that I mean that I was actually didn't entertain the idea of doing film. It was the fact that I was supposed to go art school and I flunked one exam and I had to go and redo it. And while I was there, these guys came in with this new Porter Pack video equipment, and then that's kind of how it then started to unfold.
Isn't it funny how fate intervenes in so many
That's
situations
right.
like that?
Absolutely.
So what sort of movies have you made then over the past 25, 30 years?
Okay, I've worked for Channel 4, I've worked for the BBC, produced programs for them. The film that people know me for in the first instance is the movie I did called Burning an Illusion, which won awards back in the early 80s.
In the 80s, yeah.
Yes, and then I've done stuff for Channel 4, but more recently, because I took a break, more recently I did a film called The Story of Lovers Rock, which was, again, had a theatrical run up here in Birmingham and other places in 2011. So it's been, for me, working on in the genres of films. I've done documentaries, I've done docudramas, I've done fiction. So I've kind of worked across the different genres.
Do you have a preference?
My preference would be fiction, but the opportunities are not as frequent. And
Although
not only that,
they say fact like the Looking for Love is almost more incredible than fiction sometimes, isn't it?
it really is, yes, indeed. It really is, absolutely. And that's, yes, very truism, that.
So Looking for Love showing at View Cinema and Max Cinema in Birmingham over the next few days, and then coming back to the Drum in September for a Q&A when you'll be back up with us then.
Absolutely, yes.
Excellent. Thank you for coming up to see us at Big Centre. It's really much appreciated.
Thank you.
That's almost all for this week's show. Just to say, if you're looking for something a little light-hearted at the cinema this weekend, the crazy movie called Vacation is now out. This is all about a man who tries to impress his family with a road trip to a theme park, which all goes wrong. Here's a taste of some of the chaos. We'll see you again next week.
Oh my God, I love this song. Everybody sing it with me. There used to be a great tower alone on the sea.
But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become a lot and
The light that you shine can't be seen. Go to sleep, baby! I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grave.
I can't believe no one in this family wants to sing. Wally World, here we come.
What the hell is that?
That's a 2015 Tartan Prancer. It's the Honda of Albania. Let's hit the road.
What kind of asshole would drive his family cross country?
Audrey, Dad wanted us to be close, and that's all I want for my family.
Family is the most important thing there is.
Hi, folks. You must be the Fung family. Huh? I'm just messing you. Look at guy's face. It's like, Fungs? Huh?
Stop talking to me.
Sheila, do you like school this year?
It's okay. So, do you like school this year? That's seriously what you sound like. Just shut up.
You gotta go faster, Dad. Prancer doesn't go any faster.
Okay, well, maybe if I press this rapid button, it'll like give it a boost or something.
Yes.
What is happening?
Why am I swiveling?
I don't know.
They see me rolling. Ah! It looked like somebody blew their head off. Freeze!
This trip's been a nightmare.
You had a dream to take your family to Wally World. Never let that go.
What kind of a family are you? We're the Griswolds, you piece of ass.
Wow, this is beautiful.
I say we call it Griswold Springs.